gather my will.
The prize piece comes to join
my collection.
Do whatever.
Pain will be returned tenfold. Space aligns. Behold my collection.
I will have what I want. Death will not be an escape. Scurry, scurry. Stand still. Why?
Resistance will be punished. Time contorts. Scurry, scurry.
My irritation is growing. A cascade of pain. How?
Stop resisting. Reality bends. Punishment inescapable.
Arrogant toy. Death will not be an escape. Scurry, scurry.
My mana is spent.
Stand still.
I'm being hurt. The living toy must enjoy.
Hey, tonight is a bit of a ramble video without any scripts, without any infographics, and it's about the best MF build that I believe exists right now. And not only MF build, but also about the best skill that exists right now, which is a Penance Brand of Dissipation. Not only it reaches 150 million DPS at 2 meters budget, but it can be also less than a meter and do 100 million DPS. So, to start things off, I'm gonna say that this is an Inquisitor, and after the recent patch, the rune binder was fixed for Penance Brand to apply both brands at 20 energy instead of splitting them between the two and giving 10 energy maximum per brand. And now rune binder actually works, so it's double the damage. The skill already was quite OP, as you can see. It did 75 million damage. This is a Headhunter full MF build. As you can see, it uses Grid's Embrace, it uses Gold Worm, it uses the Focused Quant Amulet, it's Ventress Gamble, Headhunter, and all the usual MF stuff. So it's not really a build that was designed to do any hard content or anything, but it does extremely well at it, even at Uber bosses. As you can see in the beginning of the video, it can farm Uber Maven, it can farm many Ubers in MF gear, and if you're willing to swap the gear around, you can probably do all the content on its build, and it's just so powerful that you don't want to miss out. It's probably gonna be gone next league, so definitely try it out. And now a little bit about the skill. So the skill is a very interesting skill. It ramps up, and as you can see, it says here max pulse per brand. It reaches max pulses at 20, and you can see that it activates 28 times, so you'll get 8 activations on max pulse, which is average hit of 8 million. But even if you put the stages at 1, for example, this is already a 6 million, 12 million DPS build, even at the first tick, but it ramps up, and every stage you add is adding a lot of damage, and ultimately it caps out at 20. We are using Swift brand in our links, which makes activated way more faster, and it lasts way less, so you do way more damage in less time, and it's very good for clear. It makes clear very smooth, and as you can see, we have quite a big radius. If we look at the energy pools at 20 stacks, it's quite insane. It's literally the whole screen, and on top of that, we also have explosions from the stuff, and this is a mirrored stuff, but there is also stuff that you can easily make, easily replicate. The base can be from 50 to 200 divines. I bought this base for 200 and crafted it in about 50, but I already saw the bases with 4 way cheaper that were like 70, 80, 90 divines, so you can get it pretty cheap. Yeah, and as you can see, it's still insane damage. But if you want to mirror the stuff, I mirrored it from the guy. It was just on trade. It was 25 divine fee, and the stuff was pretty good. Yeah, the third implicit, the lightning damage to spells is not ideal, but I guess you can't ask for much. No one really goes to craft the staves for mirror servers. Not many people use staves in general, because people prefer 2 one-handers, although I do think that stave is perfectly good alternative. First of all, it saves you a second mirror to on the dagger or scepter, but it also gives you quite a lot of utility, you know. Like, for example, you have Enigmatic Reach here, which is a lot of AoE. As you can see, it gives you like 0.7 radius or something, 0.6 radius just for 3 points, and also some cast speed. And yeah, outside of that, the helmet, pretty standard stuff. You do need 11% mana reservation, because we do need to fit all of our skills, all of our auras, and we do it in by using the boots with haste implicit. You don't need movement speed, it's just luxury, you know, but you do need haste, and you need Enlighten 4, and ideally 2 of them. Well, not ideally, it's not optional, you want 2 of them to also use on Arrogance, Blood Rage, on Arrogance, Herald of Ash, and Vitality. And if we disable, we don't have enough life to be up for this mastery, so we definitely want to use Enlighten, at least at level 3. So it's kind of fine, kind of budget friendly, but you do need 2 Enlightens. You also do need a Grid's Embrace with reduced extra damage from critical strikes. The AoE gems you definitely can skip out on, but it is a decent amount of damage. It's around 10% damage, as you can see here, which is a decent amount, so if you can spare the money, definitely do that. For gloves, we go for Temple mod, increase damage with hits against shield enemies, plus conversion. You can do resistances that you are lacking here. It's pretty easy to do. You can just pretty much buy gloves with suffixes and then use Veiled Orb with locked suffixes to reroll into convert. You can use convert to lightning, convert to cold, it doesn't really matter. Both work, both are fine. For amulet, we are using focused amulet. The difference between focused and simplex is very small for this build. We benefit greatly from extra cold because we are not running hatred, so the diminishing returns don't kick in as fast, and the life is just very nice. You can also use AoE, or for example, if you're using simplex, you can use brand attachment range, but I don't think that brand attachment range after recent patch is a valuable stat. The darkness doesn't have monsters anymore, so you don't need it. And then the starting stuff like Venters and Calandras and Headhunter. For Watcher's Eye, you can go for cast speed, you can go for Con Ground, taking increased damage for monsters. You definitely want Onslaught on Kilda, it's pretty important. And then I use Taken S for Purity, just for some defense against Phys, because, you know, sometimes Phys can be annoying. Another part is Forbidden Set. I'm using Conviction of Power. There is also a viable alternative as to using Arcane Blessing or using Unwavering Crusade, but then you kind of want to change your charms from those to min endurance, min power, and AoE, like this one. You just use 3 of those and maybe get another one on that which was taken. I'm using that which was taken with Mana Reserve, phasing and AoE per endurance, a very good one. I snatched it at 25 divines. It was pretty cheap. So, but you definitely don't need like all those mods. You just need Mana Reservation. And that's about it. For Little Pride, we are using double damage on 2 of those and reduce crit. There is like 20 combinations on those 3 nodes that are the same kind of, so just look out. I got the first one that I clicked pretty much, and it was 3 divines or something like that, so it was very cheap. Previously you could use Little Pride in this area, but now that Runebinder actually works, you don't want that, and you want to use it here. And then another expensive part of the build is those clusters. You can craft them, you can buy them. I bought them because I'm kind of rich. So I used Chaos Res Life cluster with effect, obviously, and Energy Shield Attributes cluster with effect, obviously. And the cast speed, also very important, so that's probably the most important one alongside with effect. ES is not mandatory, but I do find it nice to have baseline 500 ES, because as you can see the cost per second is 489 if you cast our brands repeatedly, which is enough for our ES to recover quickly, and we can cast pretty much repeatedly without going and especially it's nice when you don't have the Headhunter buffs yet, they didn't kick in, and you still need this mana. And obviously this is a Headhunter build, so it scales way higher than this. This is just a, let's say, a hideout DPS. It's gonna be way higher in reality. As to configuration, we could have put this to 50, but we didn't, because why would you? Everything else is just completely true. There is no padding, we do use all of that. And yeah, that's about it. This is the build. A node section has a lot of things that you can do also to improve the build or to kind of change it around. So definitely check that out if you want to play the build. It's a pretty good build, and I definitely find it very interesting. Sadly, I couldn't get a decent map to showcase because I've been busy with real life and stuff like that, and I had to resort to showcasing an Uber Maven kill on a full MF character, because why not? I mean, MF in Uber Maven, that's the next level, right? Just because you can, not because you should, but because you can do it. So feel free to ask any questions, and see you next time. And now a little bit of a guide how to craft a +5 stuff for those who don't know how to do it. I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of guides already, but just to make it easier for you, I'm going to quickly ouch it, and then we are going to use etheric, corroded, metallic, and shattering fossil to hit +2 on a stuff. We need +2 all gems. I might have skipped it, but you look for +2 gems. It's around 1 in 12 or so, which can be pretty expensive. You can also alt roll into it, but I prefer to do fossils because it's faster. But you can alt roll into it if you're really on a budget. You definitely do it. Then you obviously need to isolate the mod. If you had, for example, let's say a good spell damage roll, let me find one like this one. You try to annul one suffix and unwanted prefix. And then when you have a base like this, for example, although this is not a good spell damage, but just for the sake of showcasing, you're gonna do it like this. Then you do prefixes cannot be changed. You then scour it. Then you do can have multiple crafted modifiers. Then you do prefixes cannot be changed. Cannot roll attack mods. And then what you do is you augment physical in harvest, and it's 33% chance to hit +3, and it's 66% chance to hit +2. Let's repeat it a couple of times. As you can see, tier 2, that's not ideal, that's not ideal, that's not ideal again, and it's +3. It's 33% chance, which is a decent chance. If you didn't hit it in the first try, you obviously need to restart the process. You try to annul the physical, the low tier, right? If you didn't hit it, then you go back to fossil or annul or crafting the with alts, right? But let's go back to the base. You hit it, for example, right? And when you hit it, you do prefixes cannot be changed. And then you can either aisling it, or you can veiled chaos it. For the sake of showcasing, we veiled chaos it. Veiled chaos has a chance to break, and the veil and aisling veil doesn't have a chance to break, but veiled chaos is significantly cheaper. And if you don't mind the cost, obviously do the aisling veil. It's also good if you want to hit maybe a veiled prefix for the non-chaos mod, but on prefixes it's harder to hit something decent. On the suffix though, there is a lot of decent modifiers like cast speed, like double damage, or crit multi with rare or unique enemy nearby. You then block dot multi, the veil dot multi, you add dot multi, and then you unveil, and here we hit the double damage or cast speed. As you can see, you can unveil either, and after you hit that, you can just craft on the modifier you want. In the case that in PoB stuff that I had, I didn't have the spell damage, so I did multimod and crafted, and so I did multimod and crafted the spell damage. But in this case, we're just gonna craft on the cast speed with the arcane surge, and it's finished, right? You get the cast speed with arcane surge, and boom, it's finished. Although you want to do a crafted version, obviously, you don't want to do the veiled version. Quickly find it. You could also use a normal cast speed because it's kind of higher, right? Yeah, I would do a normal cast speed of 32%. And that's how you make the stuff. Obviously, you want the explosion implicit, but that's the craft. It's pretty easy. It can be done in under 50 divines if you also willing to settle on +2, but you shouldn't. It's only 33% chance, so it's pretty easy to do.